Hey there. So, if you're watching this, I'm guessing your dryer is on strike, flashing some kind of cryptic error code at you. Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to tackle those super common DE and DF errors and get you back to drying clothes.
You know the feeling, right? You've got a full load of wet laundry, you hit the start button, and nothing happens. Just a blinking DE or DF staring back at you. It's frustrating, I get it, but don't worry.
Because here's the good news, and it's really good. This is almost never a big, scary, expensive problem. It's usually a super simple, super cheap fix that you can totally do yourself. We're talking less than an hour, for sure.
And doing it yourself? Well, that's the best part. Calling in a pro for this kind of thing can easily set you back $200, maybe more. We're gonna get this done for the cost of a fancy coffee.
All right, so what do these codes actually mean? Think of DE as door error. Basically, your dryer doesn't think the door is closed properly, so it won't start for safety reasons. Now, DF is its weird cousin. That one means the dryer's brain thinks the door is stuck closed, even when it's wide open. The key thing is both of these codes point to the exact same system. Okay, before we even think about grabbing a screwdriver, let's do the simple stuff first. These are the 5-minute checks that, honestly, solve the problem more often than you'd think. First things first, just unplug the dryer from the wall. Leave it unplugged for a solid 2 minutes, no cheating. This lets the main control board fully reset. While it's off, just give the door latch area a quick look. Any lint buildup, a stray sock? Then, plug it back in and shut the door with a little oomph. You really want to hear a nice, solid click. If you're still getting the error, well, it's time for the next step. So the simple checks didn't work. No big deal. Now we get to play detective and track down the one little part that's almost always causing this headache. For both DE and DF errors, public enemy number one is this tiny little guy called the door microswitch. It has one job, to tell the dryer if the door is open or closed. And frankly, they fail all the time. So here's how the whole system works together. On the door, you have the strike. That's the hook-shaped piece. It goes into the latch assembly, which is mounted on the dryer frame. Tucked away inside that latch assembly is our little microswitch. When the strike goes in, it pushes a lever that presses the switch, telling the dryer, okay, we're all closed up and ready to go. So here's the cool part. We can actually prove the switch is the bad guy before you spend a single penny on a replacement. And I've got 2 different ways to do it. One if you have a multimeter, and one if you don't. If you've got a multimeter, set it to the continuity setting. That's the one that usually beeps. Disconnect the wires from the switch and touch your probes to the 2 terminals. With the switch's little button unpushed, it should read OL for open loop, nothing. Then press the button down. It should immediately read 0 and, most likely, beep. That means you have a good connection. If you get anything else, the switch is toast.
Don't have a multimeter? No problem at all. We can still figure this out. If you have the DE error, the one that says the door is open, you can carefully use a small insulated wire to jump the 2 contacts in the plug that connects to the switch. If the dryer suddenly powers up, boom, you found the problem. For the DF error, it's even easier. Just disconnect one of the wires from the switch. If the code goes away, again, you've found your culprit. But listen, this is only for a quick test. Don't run your dryer like this.
All right, diagnosis complete. We know what's wrong. Now comes the really satisfying part. The fix, and the awesome feeling of saving a ton of cash. And this is why we do this. I mean, look at these costs. That microswitch we've been talking about, it's usually somewhere between $10 and $30. Even if the whole plastic latch assembly is cracked, you're probably looking at $40 tops. It's just crazy how cheap these parts are. This chart really says it all. Your DIY fix is going to land you in that $20 ballpark. A professional repair call starts at $200 easily. And giving up to buy a new dryer, you're looking at $700 or more. The savings here are just huge. It's a no-brainer. And hey, to make your life even easier, here are some really common part numbers you can look for. These cover a lot of the big brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, and Kenmore. Just search for these online with your dryer's model number, and you'll find exactly what you need. So you've put in the new part, the dryer is running again, fantastic. But before we call it a day, let's just do a couple quick things to make sure this doesn't happen again anytime soon. A few little habits make a big difference. Try to close the door gently instead of slamming it shut. That's what breaks these parts. Every now and then, clean out any lint that builds up around the latch. And maybe once a year, just check that the door is still hanging straight and hasn't started to sag. So let's just boil this whole thing down, right? The key takeaway is simple. That little micro switch fails all the time, it costs less than 20 bucks, and pretty much anyone can swap it out in under an hour with just a couple of basic tools. It's that straightforward.
So really the only question left is, are you ready to save yourself 200 bucks and a massive headache? You know what to do now. You totally got this.